One thing I was not prepared for when I got my real estate license was how much it was going to cost to run my business as a solo real estate agent. I felt a little blindsided, even though I had worked at a real estate office, so one could argue that I should have known better. But I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are like me that would love to know ahead of time. So today I'm going to be sharing with you everything that I spend each month to run my real estate business as a solo agent. And by the end of this video, you're going to get a better idea of how much it costs to be a real estate agent and how to be efficient with your operating expenses. I am a realtor, so I will be sharing those fees as well. And I'm saving my favorite expense for last, but also starting with the most important fees and then moving on to all the things in between that you have to have or that I must have, because I've spent a lot of money on a ton of different things over the years. It's way too easy to get distracted by all the shiny objects. People are going to be calling you out of the blue left and right to try and sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need, like fancy AI subscriptions that you're never going to use, or membership clubs that are really more of a distraction than they are a handy tool. And believe me, I've tried all the subscriptions from homes.com to realtor.com to referral companies. So hopefully I'll be able to save you some time and some money today. So first, obviously, if you're a realtor, you have to spend money on just getting your license and just getting started as a realtor. So you've got your realtor dues and your MLS fees. And also I'm in Colorado, so this might look different where you are. So just keep that in mind as you're going through this, that your license might cost a little bit different. Now, honestly, I don't remember how much it cost to get my license activated. I want to say it was maybe, I don't know, around $1,000 or so. So that was an expense that I kind of wasn't expecting. And then you have to renew that license every year. And I'll have to go back and try and remember how much I spend to renew it. I don't think it's as much, maybe $450, because it's every 3 years to renew my license. So that'll be coming up soon. But you have your realtor dues, which is $58 a month, but you pay it at the end of the year. So it's $696 for the whole year. They are going to ask you to donate to RPAC or similar. That averages out to be about $58 a year. Now, a lot of people say that the Realtor Association doesn't really offer you a ton that is beneficial, but I find some things to be beneficial. Like, I do like to use the reports and the market updates now that they have incorporated AI, and it'll spit out scripts for you. Like, that's something I'm willing to pay for in and of itself. So the $58 doesn't bother me as much as it used to. And if your broker is part of the Realtor Association, then you have to be as well. So you're gonna have to find a brokerage that is not a part of the Realtor Association if you want to dodge that fee. Now, next, I have a virtual office, and I tried to get away with just using my brokerage's office for a long time, but then people would want to send me things and I didn't want them to send it to my house. And our brokerage office address is in Denver and I live in Colorado Springs. So it was kind of hard to have that set up that way. So I thought, I'm going to get a virtual office. That way I can meet clients there and I can have a Google business address that isn't cluttered with 100 other agents with the same business address. And so I got that virtual office, and that's about $86 a month. They handle all of my mail for me. And if I need to rent a room for a consultation or to meet with clients, I can always do that there. So that's really nice to have, and it's downtown. I love the vibe downtown. So that is an expense that I've had for years and I will continue to have. The drop-in usage could be anywhere from $30 to $100 depending on what I do there and how long I use it. Next, I have my PPAR dues, which is the Pikes Peak Association of Realtors, the MLS access, $41 a month. And then if I want to use Sentry Lock, which is, what we use to open doors and such, it's an additional $9. So you're looking at $50 a month to be able to put listings in the MLS and to be able to search up things on the back end for your buyers. And with that, you can send out listings. They do have this One Home app in there or inside that can help you communicate with your clients on the back end. So I use it, even though I have that capability on my website, which I'll get into here in just a minute. It's just not as robust. So the next thing that I pay for on a monthly basis is RE Colorado, which is the Denver MLS. A lot of times those listings that are in the Denver MLS might not be in the Springs. If I have to show homes in Denver, I'm working with a client in Denver, or if I'm going to be able to put listings in Denver, then I'm going to have that, and that is $61.33 per month. I do find it to be worth it just to have that in case I do have a client there. But yeah, it does get a little expensive, but I find it to be something that I'm happy to have more and more versus not having. So I think I want it more 60% than not want it at 40%. So it's just an expense that I just have to swallow. Next, I have Canva, which comes out to be $9.95 per month, which is about $120 for the whole year. You pay for the whole thing up front, or at least I do, because it's cheaper. Otherwise, it comes out to be about $13 a month. $10 just sounds a lot better to me, so I pay for the whole year. Canva does everything. I make all my thumbnails in there. I use it almost every single day, so it's a vital part of my business. Now, the next thing that I have that's kind of a little bit more of a luxury than anything else is my website. I spend $174 a month on my website, but it's got WordPress and it's got a CRM where I can have attached to my original CRM, which I'll get into here in just a minute. But it's nice. It's got WordPress, like I said, so you can do some search engine optimization, and I rank for a couple keywords. I don't really do the blogs as much as I probably should, but eventually when I have more time and can hire more people, then that'll be another expense that I put on there to have someone help me with my website. So $174. If you livingthesprings.com, if you want to see what that website looks like, then you can go to livingthesprings.com, and then at the very bottom it says, if you like this website, then you can get one of your own. I am an affiliate, so you can go ahead and book a consultation with them to see if they can help you. That does include my MLS feeds. So as people opt in, I can see what kind of houses that they're looking for. It gives me notifications on which listings that they like the most. You can also leave comments on there. So it's very similar to the MLS, like I said, but it's not as robust. So I prefer to use PPAR for that. And the agent fire is just kind of icing on the cake, if that makes sense. But I can do all my landing pages in there and use that for all my guides, things like that. So that's why I like using having a website. It's kind of pricey, but I do like having that. It's more of a luxury thing. All right, so the next cost that I accrue as I'm a real estate agent solo, I'm not on a team, so these are prices that I am paying for as a solo agent, is listing marketing. So anytime I have a new listing, it's anywhere between $250 and $2,500. I know that's quite a bit of a spread, but that would include like staging and things like that, because sometimes I do offer it. That would be a higher expense. I have a range of listing package that people can choose from. So they just want photos, that's $250. And then if they want the full marketing suite, that can, cost more. So it just depends on you and your client and what you guys negotiate. Now, the next thing I spend per month is video editing. This is super vital because this is where all of my clients come from. All my branding and marketing and how people find me is through YouTube. And so my video editing, I'm paying about $600 per month to have someone manage my entire channel, make thumbnails, do all the descriptions, do everything, editing, all that, which is very time consuming. When you're doing that all by yourself, you're spending all your time editing and not selling houses. And that's how I felt. So that is an expense that I am 100% on board with. Even though it stung at first, it's freed me up to do more scripting, hang out with more people, meet new clients, things like that. Now, the annual commission course is about $50. You have to take that every year. You have 4 hours every year for your 3-year cycle. So I recently spent $37.50. And some annual courses are super cheap if you do them through the title company. But on average, I'm seeing anywhere between $35 and $50 per year for that. Not that much money. Now, the next thing you're going to be spending money on is closing gifts. So whatever you spend, I think the tax law allows you to spend maybe $50 per person. Obviously, we're real estate agents. We probably spend a lot more than that, but that's on you. CapCut, I spend $20 per month, but I usually wait until December to get the deals. I love using CapCut. It's just so easy to edit on. It's got all the really cool transitions. You can color grade in there real nicely. It's a little bit more advanced than just your regular apps that you have on your phone, but not as advanced as some of your other programs where you're kind of lost. So another editing program that I like is Descript, which is $36.07 per month. But if you pay for the whole year, it's like $25. A software that I really like to use because I can edit via text. So it's kind of like editing a Word document, but really a video. It cuts my editing time in half. So for videos like this, I'm not hiring an editor to do this, so this is a good way for me to stay close to the fire without having to quit. Eventually I will have to quit that as well. But there's other free editing software like DaVinci, you've got Clipchamp, you can even edit videos in Canva, which to me is painful to do, but there are free options that you can use, so you don't have to do that. That's kind of like an optional one. Now, miscellaneous things throughout the years like CE credits, if you want to take additional courses, those might cost money when I can. And then also meeting clients or sending out gift cards, or every once in a while I'll do a thinking of you or happy house anniversary or 1 year anniversary, I'll send them a gift card. So just random things like that throughout the year. Closing gifts, like I said, mentioned before. Maybe you're doing like postcard marketing, which I don't do a ton of because I don't really see a return on investment on there, but it's probably because I don't do enough of it. But when you're out there meeting clients or meeting your business partners, you're going out to lunch, you're having all these meetings and trainings, some of that adds up over time. I teach classes here and there. I'll spend money on giveaways or different things that I think are fun. So obviously all of this stuff adds up pretty quickly, but I was really shocked to find out how much I actually spend per month. I'm still in shock about it. And I haven't even gotten through everything yet because there's still stuff that I pay for. So say like, there's no monthly fee where I'm at. My brokerage is Real. And so Real Broker here in Colorado, you only pay when you actually have closings. So they'll take out $250 for the first 3 closings for my E&O insurance, which is nice. I don't want to have to worry about that. That's just in there. And then there's also broker fees, like $30-$40 per file. I don't even look. And then I have a TC, so I pay her $450 per transaction. And then I also have a split. Now the split at Real is pretty good. So there's no monthly fee, and the split is $85.15. And then so every time I have a closing, they take 15% out of that. So maybe $1,000 to $2,000 per closing. I mean, this is adding up a lot. And also my favorite CRM I mentioned earlier that I would go over that with you is called Go High Level. And in that CRM, you can do everything. It's got like mini chat, email marketing, everything that you would need to run your business. And I have a full video about this. And if you want to do a 2-week free trial to test it out yourself, it is my absolute best bang for my buck in everything that I spend because it helps me keep in touch with clients. It helps me keep track of where they are in the process. I can spit out automations to any new customers that might opt into one of my free guides or something that I create in there. You can add all your social media. You can track everything in one place. It really is such a streamlined investment. It's got basically a similar function to Calendly, although you could connect your Calendly if you wanted to. But I buy it for upfront for the whole year. But if you don't do that, it's $100 a month. I think I spend $80 a month on this CRM, and it's worth every single penny. Again, if you want to try it for yourself, and if you want to book a free consultation to learn more about it, I can go over that with you. I just think it's an incredible software, and I use it every single day for marketing, reputation management, leaving Google reviews. I mean, there's just a whole suite of all the different things that you can use this for to help you run your business. As a solo agent, you can't do it all. And so I am looking at my monthly spend, and it's about $1,200 per month. $1,200 per month to be a solo agent. And that's not including, like I said, splits and fees every time I have a closing or paying my TC. So that's a little bit of a sticker shock. I know that you don't have to spend as much as I do, but it just kind of gives you an idea of what it could look like for you financially to run a business. I mean, would I have gotten into real estate knowing that? I don't know that I would, because it's such a rocky career field. You don't know when your next deal is going to come. It's sales, right? So you're just kind of starting from zero every single day. And I have a lot more videos coming up to share like my journey as a solo agent. And hopefully that'll help you guys. Make sure you are subscribed, because I'm going to be sharing more of this inside stuff that a lot of agents I'm not seeing out there sharing, because everyone wants to make it look like sunshine and rainbows every day. And I'm not going to be speaking negatively, about this field. Obviously I love it, and I've been able to survive in this industry for so long. So lots of fun stuff coming up over the next few months or so. So make sure that you are subscribed, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to get that free 14-day trial of High Level, or book a consultation to get a website if you are in the market to get a real estate website. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.